Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I wanted to show you I got my storage unit done and everything's in place. PJ says Heidi ho to everybody. So this is how I've got it set up. And I think this is how I'm going to keep it, with all the taller things in the middle. And these are the new units with these smaller ones here. And as you can see, by combining things, I have a lot of the thinner ones still open. So, I can put things there. And I did put a few of my, over here, I put a few of my daubers in there so I don't lose them all. But I still have space over here that I could put a few of my inks, and I may do that. I still have not sorted my washi tape, though. Where I take out my springs and put in my falls. I just have not had the opportunity to do that. So I will be doing that probably today or tomorrow. But what I wanted to do today, besides showing you that, now I want to make sure I've got my stool for my leg today. I wanted to show you some goodies that I have. And my dear sweet friend Amy, and I will post in the comments her YouTube page so that you can go visit her, because she has a new YouTube page and I want you to go give her some love. While I've been recuperating, she sent me some goodies to play with. And there's all kinds of stuff in here. And we have been challenging each other this summer. And it's time for me to take up that challenge. And she and I are going to be challenging each other. So this is a tea that she sent me. And she said it is oh so very good. So I am going to try this tea this afternoon. It's called Butterfly Pea Flower. And it smells scrumptious. So I'm going to try that today, Amy. And she sent me these little cards. And my challenge is I have to make something with something in this packet that she sent me. So as we look through this packet, I have to come up with something and use at least, I think her challenge to me was, I have to use at least 2 items from this packet to create something for one of my journals. So that is my challenge. So she is so creative. So and I sent her a packet right before my surgery, and she has to do the same thing. So Amy, the challenge is on. So in here I have some. I'm trying to see how to open it here. I don't want to tear it. There it is. So in here I have some, looks like lovely lace. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's crocheted. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now, Amy lives, I live in Southwest Pennsylvania, and Amy lives in mid-central Pennsylvania. So she's just a couple of hours away from me. And we talk a couple times. FaceTime. We FaceTime each other. Yeah, I can never remember what that's called. Oh, isn't that pretty? Thank you, Amy. I love that. That is so pretty. Oh, this just gave me an idea. Oh, that is so very pretty. Okay, let's see what that other piece is in there. I think this is eyelash yarn. Oh, yeah. Ooh, look at those pretty colors. That is so pretty. It's different shades of, I don't know if you'd call it pinks or reds, but wow, it's pretty. Very pretty. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to just put this aside here. Over there. I'll put it back in there. And in here are just some clips all kinds of little bips and bops. They'll go up in one of my little bips and bops drawers. A nice little notebook I could tuck into a pocket. Giving me some ideas. Some pretty paper. I love, and now Amy dyes her papers. I love this paper. And she dyed this herself. And she is going to be having her own Ko-fi page. So if you like this paper, and you go over to her page, you'll be able to see if she has her Ko-fi site set up. And I will ask her. I think she does, and you can buy some of her printables. And this one is such a lovely color also. It's a little bit lighter in the orange tones, but it is a vintage page that has been dyed, and it is gorgeous in color. It is a tea dye with just a hint of a, it's not really orange, but it's kind of a, it's tea dye, and it's got some coffee stains. It's got some tea stains. It's just got, if it was sitting on your desk and something spilled on it, stains, that's kind of what it's got on it. And it is just lovely. Just lovely. So let's see what else is here. And then this little piece of, right here, this little piece of stationery. This is a pocket. So you take this, and it's got the folding lines. So you fold it and go like this. Now this is the, and then it goes like this, and then you've got the pockets there. So it's got the folding lines on it. And then here's a copy of it. So I have that. And this is just a vintage card, a little vintage postcard. I love how people could send things to, like, just to Miss Hazel. And the postman knew, he just knew who Hazel was. You know, no questions. He just knew who Hazel was. And here's a copy of some vintage, I'll think of it. I'll think of it. Yeah, my brain's not working all the way. I've been doing laundry. And here are some tags that I can cut out and use. This is just some calendar pages. Oh, you're giving me some ideas. Some tracing paper. Some coloring paper. An index card, or it's not an index card. Here's some more dyed paper from a game called Phase 10. This is from a, oh my gosh, my brain has just left my head today. From a notebook. Here's an old bingo page. This is from a receipt book. This is receipts also. This is from a book. This would be another type of receipt, but it would be a different type. Where this one has the rings that turn over. This would just be in like a little notebook. This is going to a restaurant. She gives you your receipt. I think there's 2 of them here. Yep. Guest checks. There's 2 of them here. Little postcards. Now this one, she has a name, tag on here. It says from December 29th, 1947, Life magazine. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Jack lets Herbert lie on him. Oh, he's talking about the cow. Okay. Oh, so he must be training the cow. Okay, so he's teaching the cow how to shake hands. He's teaching the cow how to stand up. On the teeter-totters. Oh, well, this is interesting. Oh, they're ox. They're not cows. They're oxen. How to kneel. And these are the twins. And how just let one stand and the other lay down underneath them. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know you could train oxen. And then on the back, here are the same oxen, you know, here, but they're being put to work. And now they're just resting. And here's an ad for Colgate toothpaste. Oh, it's dental cream is what they used to call it. Interesting. Here's a big page from a ledger book. Well, that's interesting. Who knew you could train an oxen? All right, let's put that under there. Now, in this little package here, let's see what's in here. Oh, this is just little bibbly bops. Okay. Now, this is a thicker piece like you would put on the outside of a journal. These are like bigger pieces that you'd put on the outside of a journal. This is a pin that you would maybe cut the back of these off to use on the outside. This is a button. This would be like an old pendant. These are just old jewelry pieces. Buttons. Seashells. There's a key. There's a brad. All right. Well, thank you so much, Amy. Oops, what else is in there? There we go. Another button. I really, really appreciate all this stuff. So now I have to decide. Oh, let me show you these little game cards here. I have to figure out and decide what it is I am going to do in my journal. And I don't know what journal I'm even going to put it in. I have a couple of them that aren't finished. You know, that we didn't get finished before my knee surgery. So who knows what we're going to do. Whoops. Runaway button. Yeah, I want this to move along here because I have some other goodies I want to show you. Now, these are the little game cards that she sent me. Now, Amy has some of these also. So I'm thinking I might use some of these in my challenge and then challenge her to use what she has. These are my little game pieces from a children's game. So I'm thinking I might use some of these and then challenge her to use some of her pieces to create something. So there are really no rules. We just have to use 2 pieces. And I think we both have these. So I'm thinking that's what our common denominator is, if I'm correct. Amy, and if you're watching this, correct me if I'm wrong. Excuse me. But I'm thinking that's what we had decided on in the summer, was to use these as our common denominator. This was the common denominator in our challenge. So we're going to use these and I think something else, but I don't remember what it was. And I want to put my tea over there so I can make my tea this afternoon. So let me know what it was because I don't remember. And then our challenge is on, girly. All right, so let me put these back here on the table. And then let me tell you what our new project is going to be. So I've been thinking, now let me lift this. There we go. So I've been thinking now for a while that I want to make a journal out of a magazine. Now, don't panic if you don't have a magazine, because you can use a paper bag, just, from your grocery store like this. Now, I cut part of it off up here, so that's why it looks so weird. But you can use a paper bag, you can use a lunch bag. Now, if you use a lunch bag, you want to open it up, and what I mean by that is you want to open down here. You want to open it completely flat, and you want to glue 2 or 3 of them together. Okay, and you want to use, now you all know, I use cereal bags. But you can also use wax paper, or you can use whatever you have that's non-stick. Okay, use 2 or 3 of them. And open it like this. Open it like this. If you're using a lunch bag, put it like this. Put your lunch bag out. Glue 2 or 3 of them together. Put another piece on top, and then weigh it down with heavy books until it dries. You want it to be the weight of a grocery bag. So try it with 2, and then see if it moves around like this. If it's still really thin, like a lunch bag, try, if you don't have a lunch bag, try those party bags. The party bags with the handle that's like twine. That's the weight that you want it, okay? That's the weight that you want it. So if your lunch bag still feels kind of flimsy like a lunch bag, add another one on top of it. Because you want the weight of either a grocery bag or a one of those bags, those gift bags that have the twine on it, okay? That's what you're comparing it to, okay? That's what you're comparing it to. Now, don't have what I'm going to show you. Let me show you some alternates. This is what I originally thought I was going to use. Originally, I was going to use one of my Daphne's Diary. Now, I have several of them. I have a lot of them because I have a subscription to it. But these subscriptions are expensive. And to get them delivered to the United States, how they work is they're from the Netherlands. The company ships them to Canada, and then from Canada they ship out to the individual addresses in Canada. For them to come to me, they get here 6 weeks after the release date. Now, what does that mean? Well, let me show you. In the back of every edition, it says, Daphne's Diary will appear on November the 12th. Well, our friends across the border usually start receiving theirs close to that date. I don't get my next issue, like this is issue number 7. Now this is from last year, issue number 7. So issue number 8 of last year is a Christmas issue. I didn't get my Christmas issue until toward the end of January. So I thought, I don't want to do Daphne's Diary because by the time we get them, it's 6 to 8 weeks by the time people in the U.S., some people in the U.S. get them, depending on where you live in the U.S. Not everybody, but depending. Where I live in Pennsylvania, it's 6 to 7 weeks from that date to when I get it. And very rarely do I get a Christmas issue. Of all of my subscriptions, I have gotten 2 Christmas issues. 2. I've had this for going on 4 years, and I have gotten 2 Christmas issues. And you can call them and tell them, I haven't gotten an issue, and they'll resend it. But sometimes that doesn't help because I think people really like the Christmas issues and they just take them. Or they get hung up in customs. And that's the problem, customs. They have to come through customs to get to us at the Canadian border. And they just get hung up there, and mail and customs just kind of sits there for a while. So what I thought I would do is, instead of this magazine, let me show you some alternates that you can choose from. Now, you can go to your bookstore, a local bookstore, because they ship them in bulk to bookstores. One of my local bookstore that gets it is Barnes & Noble. So if you want to go to Barnes & Noble and get it, you can get it there. Now, each issue in the U.S. costs about $15 if you want to buy an individual issue. So if you want to use a Daphne's Diary, you can. If you want to go to Barnes & Noble and get it. I'm not going to use mine because it takes so long to get them. Now, you may see me use a couple of pages that I cut out of one, but that's not going to be my sole work. Barnes & Noble has books like this. They're called Paper. And in them, they're really kind of cool. They have all these different things. They have cutouts. They have different pages like this. Now, these aren't strictly magazines, but they give you things like this if you want to use a different book like this. And the reason that I wanted to do something different, and in here are little posters that you can cut apart. Okay? And there are different versions. There's this one, it's called the Floral Riot. There's this one called the Enchanted Forest, which I really like. Let's put this away. And it's different. So there are different books and different things that you can use if you choose. You can use a book like, what's it called? Like National Geographic. You can use a book like this. This is the book that I'm going to use. And you can also buy this book in a, you can buy it online. You can buy a single issue online. And I will add, it's by Stampington and Company. And I will add their website. Or you can also buy it in Barnes & Noble. Or I'm sure there are other bookstores that carry it. They also carry some of their other magazines, because I was in there yesterday and they had them. But my plan is to take and create a journal from the paper that I showed you. And this book is for art journaling. And we're going to take some of these. Now, I have a subscription to this magazine. And to take some of the projects in this book and recreate them as our pages. So we're going to take like this project, and we're going to recreate it as a page in our styles. Okay? So we're going to recreate these as our styles. We're not going to copy them. We're just going to make them for us. So if you wish to do that, then you can do that. Now, the pages in my book are going to be coffee dyed paper. They're going to be some of the papers that I just showed you that my friend Amy just sent me. They're going to be some of my papers that I've curated out of other magazines, and they might even be some of the pages from that I just showed you out of here. I might even pull some of the pages out of here, because some of the pages out of here go with these projects, and I can use them for collage. Like this page, I can use it for collage in one of the other projects that I want to use. But a lot of the times, if you look at this, this reminds me of the tissue paper that I have, the Tim Holtz tissue paper. This reminds me of some fabric, and this is just words. So these are not going to be difficult projects. And we can do this on mixed media paper and book page. So to recreate these in our style, and then we can use paint and we can use inks. And down here, this one can also be done. And I can't wait to do this one with inks and make it dark and messy. That one just looks like so much fun. And over here, I've been saving a piece similar to that forever. But I would not put gratitude there. I would put something else there. But all that fun messiness on there. You guys know how much I love to use my inks to make pages dirty and dark and messy. And so that base is exactly the type of base I like to do. Now, some of these may end up looking very similar to what we see in here, because this is very much my style. That one is very much my style. And it may end up being a little flip out on a page along with something else. It may end up being a flip out when we create this to be a little bit bigger. So this is the book that I'm going to use, and I've already marked the page that's going to be, well, I thought I did. Where did it go? I already marked the page here. This is the one. This one down here, I want to make my cover, but I don't want a pear. I want something else to be my cover. But I do want those words, because right now that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying life, but I don't think I want a pear. I think I want something else. So, but I love these colors and the texture and all that other stuff. I'm just not a pear girl. So we're going to find something else to put on the cover of my journal, and we're going to make that me. Okay? So this is the journal, or this is the book that I'm going to use to create the pages in my book. Now, my journal is going to be 4x6. Now, if you buy this and you want to use this whole magazine as your journal, you can. You can take the cover off of it. All you have to do is fold it back like this. And you have to make sure it's good and flat. And then you take the cover off of it and you cut it in half. Well, and that was one of my thoughts of doing, except when I cut it in half, I lose half of my butterfly, and it just, you know, it looks like that, because half is back and half is front. And I thought, well, that looks kind of silly. So that was why I changed my mind to make a different cover, because I don't like really big journals. They're really hard for me to work in. Now, I could make a tall, skinny journal, but again, I lose half of my butterfly. Now, for the front, there's that. My butterfly is there. And I could have that on the back. Well, let me get him in there. There. That would be the front of my journal, like that. So I could make a tall one. There's plenty. And then height-wise, But then I cut my words off. So I could cut it right under the word journal and figure out how to use those words someplace else. But then on the back, all I have are the back half of butterfly wings. And that just looks kind of odd. But I do have these really cool stamps. And I do like that on the back. So I could do that if I wanted to use this cover for the back of it. So there is that. Now, there are books out there that you can use in projects like this, and they're called this, that you can just go to town on. And this book is a cut me up book. And you can go in here and you can, this book is made for you to cut everything out of it for ephemera pieces. That's what this book is for. It's made for you to go in and cut everything out of. It's not made for you to make copies of. It's made for you to use. This page is made for you to cut all this out of, or to use this as an entire page. It's made for you to just go in and have a good time cutting things or using entire pages. That's what it's for. So some of this may make an appearance in my journal for pages if some of it goes along with the activity or the project that we're doing, because I'm going to keep it with my book, because some of it will definitely work as collage pieces on some things, like especially some of this stuff, because that's what this book is made for. This is a cut me up book. That is exactly what this book is made for. And I will put the link to this book also in there. That's exactly what this book is made for. And so are these books, these two larger books. They're made for you to cut them up and use them and enjoy them. Okay, so that's what our project is going to be. And in our next video, that is what we're going to start. We're going to start on our next journal, and it is going to be just a glue book. And we're going to start on the cover, and we're going to start on getting the pages in it. And we're going to start on getting, oh, here's another one I have. This one's fun. It has all different, it's got some silly ephemera pieces in it that you can cut up. I enjoyed looking through this book. But it's got florals, and it's only one-sided. The page is only one-sided. But again, this book is made to cut out ephemera pieces that you can use in collage, you can use on cards. Isn't that a gorgeous? You can use for tags. You can use however you choose. But it's just a book made to cut up. And see, these pieces here, I'm working on a space journal. And these I'll save for that space journal. But some of this would really be fun to use bits and pieces of it on some of those pages that we're going to be working on. Just to give us, you know, little pieces and peeks here and there. So you can take a day and sit and cut out a page, or make a background page, or you know, whatever you want to do. And then you've got, or the other day, I just took one of my punches and I just punched a page. So now I have plenty of those little, I think this one's hilarious. But if you were to cut, you know, just little bits of that, you know, you'd have a very interesting piece to put on a master board. And the same with up here. Now back here, these pages back here have a little bit different of a texture. But these would also be fun to use to just take out bits and pieces. See, like that. Or just use the whole page. So you just never know what, you know, what I'll use or what I won't use. Now, and on this pages like this and in the front, I might close this and then use this as a little pocket to hold some things that I tear out and cut so I don't lose the pages. So there are cutout books that you can also buy to, you know, cut things out and use as bases. Or raid your stash that you have. Just raid your stash and use those bits and pieces. See if you have an old magazine at home that you want to use. See if you have, see if your neighbor has one or a family member has one, and cut some pieces out of that. Unfortunately, nobody in my family has magazines except me. And the only magazines I have are Daphne's Diary and National Geographic. So, those are the only two magazines that I have. So, like I said, you may end up seeing some Daphne's Diary images pop in on a tag or something like that if they go with the project that we're doing. So you just never know. So I will see you again in our next video, and we will start our journal. So until then, ta-ta for now.